background's blushing.
Yeah, who knows? Rightio. So did I do? Oh, there we are, recording, and then share screen. Right, bear with me. Have got things up, so I'll just have to make sure they're big enough for you to be able to see. We did send them, but I'll just make sure that they're sized so that you could see. Maybe it's probably the best bet. All right. So this is it's just a desktop audit that we do, Rita. So what we do is basically straight away. I mean, clearly at the moment, because it is such a new business, it's not an easy thing to put in there to do Smokin' Shisha and actual fact get it up, right? Smokin' Shisha is way too competitive probably from a naming. So Trisha did this, but Trisha did manage to bring it up by way of doing Shisha Delivery Sydney Rouse Hill, right? So that's how you were able to get it up and find it. Now, clearly, there's things that we do, and just from a long, skip. I'm getting ahead of myself. But clearly, the more things that we do, like our service, so because we're going to set up 6 social medias called Smokin' Shisha, well, all of a sudden that they become searchable for that name, right? So I would almost say this is one of the least searchable things I've ever looked for, right?
Yes.
Just because it's probably a fairly common term, maybe, right?
Right. That's right.
So one of the things, maybe you could tell me, Trisha, is one of these, there is no Google My Business at the moment, Rita?
No, I think there is. I think Najib set it up for us.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
It's probably too new to pick it up, right?
Yes.
But we do that with you, but we'll be doing everything we can to make sure that for your name, certainly for your name, Smokin' Shisha Sydney, we would expect to see it come up because that's your name, right? I reckon that is you. I reckon that's not your phone number ending 402.
No, that is ours. Yep,
yeah,
that's the
you.
one.
Yeah, so you come up. That's it. So clearly you do have one, right? So
the Google My Business comes out when you do Smokin' Shisha Browse Hill.
Yeah.
But not when you say Sydney.
No, that's right. Okay.
Yes, I think if you put like the areas, because I think Najib's kind of targeted to areas.
Yeah, that's right. So
that we deliver to,
and SEO people do a lot more of that sort of stuff too. But realistically, as I said, at the moment, that's when you put in Rouse Hill, at least it does come up, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And we know that you have it. We'll probably do when we do the setup. We'll make sure that you know how to own that. And so if anybody asks you in the future, do you have it? You'll go, oh yeah, I know how to get to it because I'm going to click on these dots and I'm going to find it. So basically, we make sure people know where to find the cars of the social media cars that we're driving, right? So we'll just update it with photos and a few things, right? So next page. I think we talked a little bit about your website last time. It's a very professional website. I think we talked about the fact that if it was our business, you want to make sure that you do everything you can. Is it a WordPress? Did I ask you that last time?
It may be. Yeah, that's probably, and I have to ask Najib exactly what he did.
Again. Yeah, so it's good. Well, we know it's Najib, so we know Najib will take care of things, right? So what we'd be suggesting to Najib is that you put your phone number up here so it's visible straight away. We put the social media icons up here. I don't know. Do you ever get anybody emailing you for it?
Look, no, not really. No,
Yeah.
I think
So
people usually just order online and it comes to my email.
Exactly. So you probably wouldn't put email, but you probably would put your social media links, and you'd probably put your phone number up the top there, and then clearly the main call to action on your site is order now. Just so you know, we've been taught to read top left, down, up, right, and we're lazy. So if you require us to drag down, which I think Trisha's done for me. Usually we only show the first page, but clearly for you, just so you're aware, I think is this a separate page, Trisha, or is this the
it's a scroll down.
It's a scrolling
one down. Yeah.
So people are going to be active enough to know to scroll down, and this is great. It's nice and bulky. It's sort of it's healthy. It's chunky. I think I know you have it. You do have your social medias further down the page.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's better if we can put them up the top. And if you're going to put a plug in, which I don't think you have the plug in the moment that shows the feed of what you're posting on social media, It's good to. I'll show you. Well,
Yeah, I think it's on the bottom of the page.
I'm going to go to your page, so I look at your website.
Go to the page, and I think Najib's added it on the bottom. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's the images, but we can probably put it somewhere more prominent, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Just helps show you as a
yeah.
as a Smokin. Whoops. SmokinShisha.com. Here it is. Great. Yep. So basically, the good. Actually, Trisha was saying your web's down at the moment, so we might be working on it, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
So just so you know, what we do is we do all the setup of the different socials, but then it's good that you've got a good web person. So often when people are doing it themselves, it's not as easy, right? So so it's good that we, particularly given Najib and my closeness, it'll be very easy for us to sort of say, look, do this. Najib, do that.
Exactly right.
Right?
Exactly right. Yes.
For you, here, so we do look at you. We want you to be all-star for Smokin Shisha as well, right? Clearly, you wear a number of hats.
Yeah, right? I work with my husband as well on his business. But
So just very quickly on this, I wear a number of hats. Trisha wears a number of hats. No, that's cool, right? The good thing about LinkedIn, it's kind of like giving you an online multiple business card, right? So you can be the project coordinator at Bass Designs as well as the founder and owner of Smokin Shisha, right? Order and delivery, right? Clearly, if we want to make sure that people know that you're that, because we want you to be all star for Smokin Shisha, right? Because people often underestimate the fact that you're not just running a Smokin Shisha business because you might like shisha, but you also are a business person, right? So you're a good person to know. So again, we do make sure that you complete this to its fullest, and it gives you every advantage. We also, and you look very pretty in that photo, but we also make sure people are using the best possible,
professional shot.
Yep.
Yes.
But also this stuff here, just so you know, for your other business, is okay on print, but it's terrible on social media, right? The best thing you can use on social media is a beautiful picture, right?
Yes.
So on social media, everything should be real images, real places, yeah?
Yes.
Even if they're stock images, but they just should be real, because otherwise they're a bit jarring, right? And also the difference.
No one will look at it, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is you can see here, you can't easily read this anyway. And this is on a big screen, right? Imagine when people are on their phone, it becomes hard as well. But the point is we make sure that you're all-star, and we do teach you how to use it if you want to in a way that helps you with your businesses. Probably both businesses in this case, right? So this is great. I love this actual image that you've got here. This is a classic, so if it was me, there's no reason why you couldn't use if you were really focusing just on smoking shisha, there's no reason why you couldn't use a secondary image that was as good as this image on your actual personal profile on LinkedIn as well, right? You would use a different one, but this image should be on everything. I love it, right?
Yes.
Best thing about your social media at the moment. Just so you know, right?
Can you just hold on 1 second if that's okay?
Yeah,
sorry, I'll just need 1 second.
No
sorry.
problem. Yep. That is a good picture. I wonder if that's some sort of strawberry flavor or blueberry or something like that.
Yeah, but it looks so cool.
So you and I will probably be tempted to go out to shisha bars in the future.
I know.
And
I know.
it's a bit difficult for us to order from Smokin Shisha for the time being.
Yeah, it's going to take more than an hour.
Yeah, that's
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry.
Even by plane. No, I was just saying, if we're looking at these sort of images in the future, we're going to get to the end of each week and think, oh, wouldn't mind going out for a shisha to smoke some shisha.
That's right. It's going to make you want some shisha. That's
exactly.
Right.
There's a lovely lady that's a part of the Footscray Traders down here that actually has a little bit of a side hustle doing this. She was doing it in the little bars.
Yes.
Footscray Traders are mainly bars, right? So, anyway. But yeah, so the thing about here, so I could see just from when Trisha did the audit, but what we do is it's a daily or an every second day habit, right, of posting. So at the moment, I don't know, this was 5 days ago that this one was at the top. And we do we have a particular way that the posts read, right? So that's okay. But if Trisha did a post like that, I'd probably tell her off.
That's right. Yes, that's it. I'm not like a social media. I don't
No,
even
that's
post
right.
my
And
own.
exactly. To be
On
honest,
my page, I haven't posted probably for a year, so I'm not
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
But
social media person. Yeah.
no. But that said, what I'm
Yes.
saying to you, this post is actually better than some, right? Just so you know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
it's a long way behind the worst ones. Believe me. So you
Okay.
actually have you've told them how to contact you, right? So
Yes.
that's a big thing, right? And to be honest, I've had certain businesses, Rita. I don't know if I said this to you before. If you just want to smoke shisha, there's no way they're going to be as judgmental as I am around the page. They're going to be more likely to look at it and go, "Oh, shisha, cool." You know what I mean? They just want to know how to contact you, right?
Yes.
I'm
Exactly.
looking at it from okay, if this is a professional business, blah blah blah.
That's right. Yeah.
But I've had certain businesses that I've worked with, and really, you could just do a decent picture and you'll sell it and you'll do well. It doesn't necessarily. We still apply the same professionalism,
That's
but the
right. Yeah.
reality is you'll still do well. It's more about the imagery that you use, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And clearly, the other thing that we do is where we can, and what we want to try and do for you is work out how we can get this promoted, right?
Yes.
I really do want to try and promote this,
Yeah.
even if we
Exactly.
promote it as a recreation
Yes.
for relaxation.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
and we do it along those lines, right? It's a
Yeah.
culturally specific. What we could maybe go down the line of culturally specific, right? We've
Okay.
had. I got to tell you, I've been in a world of pain with politicians and political parties over the last 3 weeks trying to get ads running for them, right? Because there's all sorts of things they have to do that most other people don't do. So,
Right. Yeah.
again, these, we'll tidy this up a little bit, although this is, again, pretty good, right? This information is pretty clear. It tells me how and when you're open. I like this. All I'd probably do is whack in a few emojis, but this is actually pretty good, this Instagram, the way you've set this up.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so at the top, right? And again, the logo is always consistent. I would argue you don't necessarily have to put the in the logo.
Logo.
In the logo, you
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to say hire and delivery because you can't actually read it, right?
Exactly. You're
Hard
right.
to
Yeah.
read. So you might want to.
Yeah.
I don't know who does that for you, but you could probably take it out. And
Yeah. Yeah. Look, to be honest, I made it myself. I
yeah,
haven't like gotten it done properly. But I can change it easily. Yeah.
yeah. Well, if you made it
Yeah.
yourself, kudos to you. You've done a good job. I think.
Yeah. I did it quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just whack off the delivery because every time we post, we're going to say that anyway, right? So people know
Exactly.
to read it, right? Um,
Exactly.
So, as far as we probably don't. You may have used Instagram slightly in a bigger way than we do because we see Instagram being it at best when we're advertising, right? So all these things are great, but realistically, they're mainly great if you're using it instead of a good website, right?
Yes.
So if you've got a good website that you want to hire people off, this actually becomes a bit of a side window away. So
Yes.
we just want to use Instagram in a way that takes them to the website so they'll order your product, right?
Yes.
So
Exactly.
we don't really need all these highlights and those sort of stuff set up, just so Trisha knows this as well. Because often people come to us if they're in fashion and that sort of stuff, right? And they think, oh, but I want to have this, this, and this. Well, okay, but really, if you've got an e-commerce site, well, sell it off the e-commerce site. Don't let Facebook have it, right?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yourself,
Yeah.
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 And so the posts, as I said, the best ones for us. I won't labour the point, but the best ones for us. Again, these aren't by no means the worst I've seen. They're actually pretty tidy. But we don't need to put graphics over, right? We just use the
Mm.
same real images that we would use on Facebook.
Yep.
But when we're advertising, you get a call to action, right? So
Yep.
see, none of these have a call to actions. So even if they're really popular, you're only going to get people hearting them, right? Well, big
That's
deal,
right.
right? So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't really do much.
That doesn't do much for us.
No,
Exactly.
exactly. We'll set up your Twitter. I don't think you've got a Twitter, right?
Not even that. I've never been on Twitter.
Twitter's awesome. I like Twitter, but 20% of the population is about the maximum that use it. But it's a really good
Yes.
thing for placing you, and
Yep.
it gets you access to people that you might not otherwise have access to, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
we just consider it's just an asset that you should own before
Yep.
someone else owns it. The good thing is from the search that Trisha did, it doesn't look like the name is taken. So hopefully we can grab the name, right? And that
Okay.
way
Cool.
it's another asset.
Yep.
The Google we've already talked about. We know we can find it. YouTube is even more difficult. I'm sure you can imagine.
Yes.
You put in Smokin Shisha. Yeah. So in actual fact, did you mean Smokin Shisha?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
again, it might be hard to get you ranking high on Google. Oh, sorry, on YouTube for it. But at the same time, you'll at least own the asset and the name, right?
Right.
In the way you've
Yes.
written it. And to be honest, it's other than your website, it's the best landing page, because on YouTube you can put in all your website icon and link, all your social media icons and links, and you can actually, if you then do some videos, and you might think
Yes.
it's just as easy nowadays. Let's face it, to do a 10-second, it would look quite nice, the
Yes.
wafting.
Yes.
So it's just as easy nowadays with the iPhone to do them as it is uh,
Yes. Done.
as photos, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so that's what we'd suggest, and then put them onto Facebook. I think
Okay.
from what you've said, because so that's it on the audit. But from what you've said in terms of managing your time, what
Yes.
you might need to allow is just some maintenance time that you can just book as and if you need it. Like, so in other words, we might say, okay, well, let's allow up to 2 hours a month for Trisha to do this, this, and this, following
Yep.
more things or doing more of
Yep.
that. And then if you use it, then um, yeah, basically you use it, right? If you don't use it,
Exactly.
then the next month we'll take it off, if that makes
Exactly.
sense. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way
Yeah. I
I'll
like that.
start with.
So
Yeah.
it'd be good. We can see what's working, what isn't
Yeah.
working, and And do
Exactly.
you need me to give you the content as well, always?
Well, I'm going to talk through that. Yeah. So,
Okay.
so,
Perfect.
so that's
So I'll let you go.
so the answer to that question is I need you to give the content to Najib.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But that hopefully could be pretty easy. If you speak to
Yeah.
Najib, it could be a pretty easy way of doing this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I probably have like a link. I'll probably send him like a Dropbox link. I think we have a Dropbox set up anyway. I'm pretty sure.
If it was me and this was my business, and I've said to you, I look at every business as if it is my business, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if this is my business, I am simply having a gallery, and
Yes.
I'm putting photos and videos, and I'm constantly just putting them on the whole time.
Perfect. Yeah. All right.
That's all you do, because once you do that, then clearly we can probably just take them from the website, and that's the whole strategy, right?
Oh, easy.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
easy then, and then you'll smash it if we do that,
Yeah.
because it's good, it's good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because you kind of, what do you go? You sort of shisha porn, right? What they say, it's that thing
Yes.
of it's that thing of you. So Trisha we were talking to someone today who was in SEO, right? So, but we were talking about the fact that mostly who we work with is we have to educate their clients, right? So if we're
Yes.
working with a lawyer or you're working with an architect, you're educating why us, what's our style, what's our service, who's our testimony. There's not a lot of entertainment in that, right? You understand? They're not much. Professional services aren't much fun, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
business crosses over, right? You've got crossover entertainment and education, right? Yes, you
Yes.
want to educate that you can hire from us, and yes, you want to educate what sort of flavors you have available and when might be a good time to hire from us and all that sort of
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
But people just want to see shisha and then know and go, oh, look at that, or look at those people enjoying themselves, right? You know what I mean? They'll like it just because it's people like them smoking shisha, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So yours
Yep.
is a classic. Show your target community smoking it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
As many photos and videos if you can get of those people, the better. Young people, old people, just make sure they're of age.
That's right. Yes. I'll make sure that. Yeah. I'll get it. I have to get people to like people that order from us regularly, maybe to do some videos for us as
Yeah,
well.
and look, they only need to be like literally 5-10 seconds, right? Let's face
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
It's just
Exactly.
it's probably a one gasp,
That's right. That's right. Okay. I'll do that. And if not, I'll even get
You
some
could,
family members in there.
you could almost do that as a bit of a you know, you could do it as a bit of a series, one gasp with, or have whatever the language you might use, right? But it would
Yes.
be one gasp with Trisha, one gasp with Henry, one gasp
Yes.
with Najib. Well, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
could be blowing off with, I don't know what the language is, but whatever the language is, you could just have
Yes.
a series of video of your clients doing that, right? And
Yeah,
you
that's
could,
a good idea.
and then they could be new people, and you could say, hey, we do this thing. It's a bit of fun. Would you like us just to record you having the, just doing that,
Yeah.
right? So.
Yeah. Perfect.
And then you really will. You'll we said this last time, right? The first thing is to get new clients, But once you get those clients, if you do stuff like that, you lock them in for life, right? Because
exactly.
they become your clients.
Yes.
They're not going anywhere than the place that they saw their video on Facebook, right?
Yes. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
So
That sounds
anyway,
good.
yeah, we use a particular model. I think I said last time. So we're marketers, but we're only doing social media marketing communications. We use a particular strategy where, we work best when people know specifically who their customers are. Yours is a very easy identification of who your customer is, right? You know them.
Yep.
You know where
Yep.
they live, and you know culturally who they're more likely to be. You also know their age group probably. What
Yep.
are the young kids like? Is it a 19 and 20s get into it as well?
Yeah, like 18 and over. Like, but
Yeah.
there are some people who are younger that smoke,
Yeah,
but we
sure.
don't sell to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we know of. But I mean, like I'd say like 18 to maybe even like 50-year-olds would
Yeah.
smoke it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm surprised there's an upper age. I would have thought there'd be plenty of old boys enjoying.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of older men. Yeah, or
Yeah.
women. Yeah.
Only just because you knocked me out of that age bracket, and I was a little bit offended. All right.
That's just like a compliment. I thought you were younger.
No, that's right. That's fine. I'll
Yes.
take it.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's just say I'm borderline.
Yeah.
And so it's in many ways it's about having, I think I said this again last time, it's about having a competitive offer, just making sure that you're the same, you're no more expensive, and if you are more expensive, you're more expensive because you're a better quality or whatever, or because you're more convenient, or because you're faster, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the offer just needs to be equivalent to the service, right? So in your case, there's a bit of scarcity, I imagine. There's probably high competition in some ways, just because people can go out and go to the bars to smoke it, but there's maybe a bit of scarcity because there's not that many people focusing on the hire and delivery type stuff, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
you certainly don't need to be price competing with anybody. You just want to make sure you've got a good offer and it makes sense for everybody, right?
Yep.
And then what is it that makes you guys more capable? I'm hearing that you've probably been smoking since you were 16.
Yes. No, I haven't. Look, I don't really smoke it much in general.
Right. Okay. There you go. But anyway, there
Smoke
is.
in Lebanon, maybe. Yeah, but not here.
Yeah, but the reality here is what makes you guys good, and it's not just
Yeah.
about you and your husband and anybody involved in the business. It's about the type of product that you use. It's about how quickly you can get to people. So it's basically, what do you do better that you're competitive? Do you have any unfair advantage? Have you heard that term? Is there any unfair advantage that you guys have that others don't? Maybe, right? And I think one of those straight away is that you're Lebanese, but then arguably
Yes.
there's a lot of people in doing Shisha that are probably Lebanese, right?
Yes.
So there might be other things, right? But you might have connections to people in Lebanon that are enabling you to get better product than what certain other ones might well get, right?
Yes.
So anyway, that's just something for you to think about. I think you've probably got plenty enough to make sure that it's a good business, right?
Yes.
And then you've heard of content marketing. Content marketing is just what you say. So in other words, the words that are used on the website and the words that we use on the social media, we're pretty fussy. We always tell people how to contact you and how to order, right? And then the images that you use. So as I said, we've already talked about that. We do want to make you all star on LinkedIn, but that's the only time we're really talking about Rita. Everything else, we're talking about smoking shisha, right?
Okay. Yeah.
We want to know, and we want you to be part of networks. You've talked about that. So my business is built on offline network as well as online network, right? So certainly one of the spin-off benefits is who we're networked with. If we're working with you, there's a good chance, a bit like Najib, right? You're working with Najib, so we get to know you, and we're a bit the same, right? So Rita knows people, I know people. So we'll continue to work that, and there'll be, I'm sure, I don't know anybody else that does shisha hire and delivery, so I'm sure we'll be referring you just around.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
Well, that's good then. Thank you.
And as I said, we'll be gagging for it when we get there.
Yes.
Even though I don't, I think the last time I smoked a cigarette I was probably 18. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
I always felt a bit guilty.
Maybe I can deliver to you one day if we go to Melbourne.
Me and Najib can actually have a little session together. That's right.
Yes, he loves Shisha. He was happy that I gave him this project to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is just the way we tell people how websites are set up. As I said, yours is set up pretty good. The main thing that we'll do is we'll put in a little bit of Facebook code. That just tells us how many people are going through your website. It's our version of analytics. It just helps us if people say, I don't think it's working. Well, we go, actually, the flares are telling us that people are coming there, so maybe there's something else we need to think about, right?
Yep.
So it's a good way of us assessing whether things are working.
Yep.
We've already talked about where we suggest icons go.
Yep.
You already know that the 6 social medias are clearly these 4, right? So we do post to the LinkedIn company, right? So we'll create a Smokin Shisha hire and delivery LinkedIn company. Often, surprisingly enough, that becomes the most searchable LinkedIn, most searchable social media. It's surprising, right? Because it often ties into the person. So you'll find that Smokin Shisha, the website, then it might be Rita Basari, and then it might be LinkedIn Rita Basari, right? So,
yeah, that's right.
But clearly, if we're doing work and we're advertising on Facebook and Instagram and we're able to do that, then Facebook will probably jump above it. But sometimes it spins me out because, like something like Twitter, there'll be one post that we did on Twitter a year ago or 3 years ago for somebody, and that'll be the most searchable
popular.
element. So it can be really weird what gets picked up on. The reason being is Facebook's not very generous, right? Unless you're advertising, they're not very generous about how much people get to see stuff in the feed, particularly if there's issues around whether it's eligible or not. We may need to look at. So I think one of the reasons that we might be able to work with them is if, we need to make sure that you only let people 18 years and over see your site. If you haven't already got that on there, you probably need
I've got like when they order, they tick to say they're 18 and over.
Yeah. There's certain things they can only follow the page if they're 18 and over, because I see it with betting accounts as well. And I think that exists on all of the socials. So it's something we might need to look at all of Twitter and
maybe there's a way, yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Yep.
Yeah, and then as we said, Google owns YouTube, so we do set them up, and we have capacity to then so we can manage them. You're the owner. We basically can put things on there. We don't generally post much to Google, but what we do is we look at the insights to see how searched you're becoming, right? So we want your name. If your name's getting out a lot more, we want to hopefully if people are seeing it, then they're going to try looking for it, right? So that's our intent. I think, again, without sort of repeating what I said last time, we know that, I think Trisha said this last time, Trish, right? We know that less than 50% of small businesses have ever done any social media, which means they've whacked up a Facebook page. Of them, less than 30% have ever advertised. So all of a sudden, you're talking 30% of 50%. And of those 50%, some of the Facebook pages could be highly questionable. But anyway, you start to talk about a very small percentage that are likely to have ever. So that when people say, I don't think it works for me, well, they're probably right. But they're probably right because Facebook's not generous with organic posting and they've never advertised. And the other scary fact that Yellow Social Media, which is an annual report, says that less than 13% have a strategy, and largely that would be medium-sized businesses, not small businesses, right? So you can't really expect to do well if you don't have any strategy.
That's right. Yeah.
So basically, that on the proposal, we'll talk about this in a second. We have a once-off day where it's a $935 day, where it's really a 5-hour day, right? So it's 3 + 2 hours, where it's a setup and planning session, right? So once we do that, we're done. We can manage from then on, right? Realistically, from then on, it's whether you want to, if you've got things that you want to do or things you want to send us, let us know. But realistically, we just get on and post after that because we know what we're doing. And you've said, yeah, okay, that's good. So then we have our fee around the time that it's
managing it,
as well as you need to just budget. I think I said to you last time, we generally tell people to budget at least $5 a day to start with, on the basis that we think that it's incredible in coronavirus. Literally, people are now getting what they used to get back in 2012. I reckon for $1, because so many people are at home and so many people are on social media, right, at the moment. And so Facebook is basically, they're not being any more generous in the organic, but they're being more generous for your $1, right?
Oh, that's good then.
So I think if we
that should be fine. That should be fine.
Yeah,
I'm happy to invest in this, to get our name out, because there's no point in me sitting around every weekend.
Yeah, of course.
My Friday, Saturday nights, not getting our name out there, and then obviously
you're a business for now too. The fact is that there'd be a lot of the bars would have had to move to this, right? Whereas you're already doing it. So
exactly.
So today we don't charge if we progress to the next part, so I don't need to probably talk about that. What I do need to cover off is just the top, so you know what we're doing. So the idea is to start with, we want to protect your brand. It's a bit small, sorry.
I read this as well, which is good.
Right?
Yeah.
So clearly we want to protect and add value to your asset. So in actual fact, when you do at the end of the day, once your little bloke, well, I'm saying little bloke, it could be a girl, but yeah, let's suggest once the baby is turned 18 and it's their turn and you want to sell the business to them or you want to sell the business, then your social media will be worth quite a bit, I reckon, right? So that's what that means. It's not just about protecting, it's about building equity in it, right?
Sorry, can you hold on 1 second again, Steve? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, go on. Yep.
That hubby.
Yes, yeah, he's leaving now, so he was just quickly telling me. Yeah.
I feel a bit bad that he wasn't, that we were interrupting then him saying goodbye.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry, no, he's interrupting us.
So I was just saying that not many small businesses do it. So we want to differentiate you from your competitors. Ultimately, it's about getting repeated contact, whether it's through the habit of posting or it's through the advertising. We just want to start to get that brand exposure in your target communities, right? And then ultimately, which is what most people get us involved for, is we want you to sell more, right? So we want to increase the business opportunities. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, perfect.
And we do that by creating and revising the social media in the first place, as I said. So we do that setup and planning day, which is this day here. I think because of the nature of the business, what I would be recommending to you, it's in the first instance, I want to see whether we can advertise, right?
That's right.
If we can advertise, then I think you should just use then the best value for your money is probably just to have us promoting, so doing a Monday and a Friday post about the business, and then a Wednesday post where we engage and share something locally. So we start to interact with businesses in the West so that the businesses start to know your name, and we do that sort of thing, right? That's always our strategy. And then we report every second month. And then, as I said, we'll allow, and I'll redo this a little bit, but we just allow over a month, like we charge a maintenance rate of $85 an hour for 1 hour, right? So we do add an extra 2 hours per month at $85, and that would add on to 242, right? Does that make sense? So it would finish up being whatever that is. Do the math, Trish. It's probably 374. It's probably close to what the other thing is, I imagine. Right?
That's right.
So in a way, we're probably doing it as a 370. We would do it as a 374, but not because I think we'll be doing extra things that aren't extra small activity. If we can't advertise, then I think we do need to. Then I think we should post every day, right? So then we'd be better off just doing a daily post, because particularly if you can add some content to the website, there'll be plenty of content for us to share. And at the end of the day, it's all about the news feed. It's all about getting those pictures and photos, and hopefully, if we can advertise, and seeing as many people seeing it as possible, right?
That's right. That's right.
So that's the strategy. As I said, I think I haven't done the maths, but I have a feeling that if you add 2 lots of maintenance, I think it brings it up to monthly to an S, right? I could be wrong. Did you do the maths, Trish? You're good. I bet you could calculate off the top of your head.
No, I cannot. I'm not that kind of Asian. I'm an outlier.
Oh, really? My wife is. Who on can do that? I can tell you.
I bet.
Okay. So, do you have any?
Yes, that looks good. I think that's that sounds good.
Yep.
So the monthly fees. Do I get charged monthly, or
Yeah,
is that how it works?
Yeah. So realistically, the setup happens on the. There's an invoice on the day for the day that we set up. And we charge the monthly. It is the month in advance, so we charge the monthly the day after. And then the next invoice is clearly due the next month. We use a thing called Easy Debit, just so that we don't have to chase people up on monies. But if people choose not to use that, then we just say, well, okay, you've got to make sure that you do a direct debit with your bank, because we don't want to have to be chasing up. I'm sure, I don't know, in your business, I don't know, with your architect business, probably higher end client. But I can tell you, in my business, when I first started doing this, I reckon I spent as much money going through my books, working out who'd paid me and who hadn't paid me.
Yeah, I think it's different for me because we have like stages, and if they don't pay, we don't continue. So then they lose money.
Yeah,
on their job. Yeah,
we can't get caught out really because, as I said, if because it is a month in advance, realistically, if people haven't paid, it's just it can often take us a week to work out whether we should have been paid if they're not on easy debit. But anyway,
it should be fine. Like I'm happy to do that, but just let me know when, because then obviously depending on our sales, I got to make sure I put the cash, because we get a lot of cash as well. Got to make sure I put it in the account, but that's fine. I can work that out for you. Just let me know what day it would be.
We give it the checklist and stuff. Once we know, if you're wanting to proceed, you just need to let us know when you would like to do that day.
Perfect,
it's a matter of letting us know when you'd like to do the day. When you've confirmed that, we'll do a calendar invite like we've done for this meeting and others. And we actually set it in, I think we have a project management. You guys probably use project management too for the architect. But we use Basecamp, and so basically we'll invite you to that. We send you a checklist. It all sends an email as well, but it just helps us keep everything in the same place so that we can keep track of everything.
That's right. Yeah. I used Basecamp before at council.
Great.
Yeah.
I wish I had Basecamp when
I know. Yeah. It's the events department. We're like a bit more like fun. We try to be like,
it's great. You and I have crossover like that.
Yes. But I was going to ask you another question.
Yep.
We were thinking for State of Origin, doing like a special. We were going to maybe make jerseys for our shishas, and then like get someone to make it and then wrap the bottom of the glass in a jersey, and then maybe advertise for people to get their team as a for a shisha delivery.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys can help us promote as well, like as like a leading up to it, or telling us the best way to get?
Yeah, well,
I don't know how much time we have. Maybe a couple months, I'm pretty sure. Or
State of Origin.
I don't even know when. Yeah, when is
State of Origin? I reckon State of Origin hasn't State of Origin. This year it's been disrupted. I reckon it's been disrupted.
Yeah, but isn't it scheduled for like November now or something?
Yeah,
we should check actually. Oh, let me check now.
Yeah, I think it's changed just because that's the only time I follow rugby is State of Origin. I just don't remember seeing anything about it. So but the NRL's pretty much continued more than the AFL. So
yeah, I know, that's right.
Yeah.
It's this piece announced that the 2020 State of Origin will be held in November.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good.
So we have like a little bit of time. Like I'm gonna try and I can like organize something. If I know that if you guys give us a strategy of what you think is the best way to advertise, because I think people will say, you need to advertise leading up to it, so people are
but realistically, I would say you've got, because that's putting your events type hat on. That puts you a little bit into your eventing, right? With your with the Shisha.
I've got to organize it all, but you guys probably just advertise a few weeks.
So at the moment, just to put it into context, we've got council elections with a few councillors that are in October. So realistically, we're doing a bit of a step through with those people around. We'd sort of drip feed a little bit ads, maybe go from $3 to $5 a day sort of over the time and finish with a bit of a crescendo. So in many ways, I would say the only way that becomes too late if you probably haven't done anything with 3 to 4 weeks leading up to it.
Perfect. That's good to know.
The other thing is we do actually have, I don't know, but we have a relationship with a promotions company, just so you know. They're doing all our merchandise, so they could probably do something like that for you if you don't have somebody that you're already going to use.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it exactly where. I was just going to go somewhere like to a dressmaker or something, just in those material fabric shops.
This guy's an embroidering company. He's just done face masks for us. Have you got your face mask, Trish?
Oh, it's downstairs.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I can go run right now.
He's going to go get it.
He's gonna run.
Yeah.
But it was good. I really like the masks, really good. Yeah.
You can do anything, basically.
That's really,
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, pass him on. Pass him on. I can give him like a. Trying to think what dimensions or how I dimension this glass, the bottom of the glass, but we'll work out something.
Oh wow, all merged up.
Yes. Yeah, it looks good.
But but he would be. I'll just send you his details. He does
Yeah.
he does everything, right? So
Okay.
so and if
Do
to
you
be
think
honest,
that'd be a good idea, like a good promotion to do for State of Art? Like, do you reckon that would work?
sounds like an awesome promotion.
Yeah,
Because I think
so good.
because there's a good cultural crossover, right? Because I'm sure there's a number of pretty good Lebanese players, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
There certainly has been, and
There is.
quite a few.
Yeah.
It's a bit like well, it's probably not quite as much as the indigenous population, but there is, considering the percentages, I reckon
Yes.
Lebanese probably have a higher number of percentages given the number of percentage they would be in the country, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
one of my favorite, actually, I think Bashahuli in AFL is Lebanese. He's a champ.
Yes.
He's the best.
Yes.
He's my favorite. I've got a little half Vietnamese, half Australian runs around going, Bashahuli.
Oh, really? That's so cute.
Anyway,
That's
it's quite
cute.
funny. I told Basher that because I work at the MCG, and so he thought that was, and Basher's got kids roughly the same age, so both
Oh,
girls.
that's nice. That's
Anyway,
nice.
but yeah, actual fact, I do have one or two AFL connections. Just because working at the MCG, all of security is Lebanese. I told you that last time,
There
right?
you go. Exactly. They are.
We are, yeah.
That's right.
So they speak
Yeah,
a slightly different
do
dialect
anything.
of Arabic. So when I try and speak my Saudi Arabian to them, they're a bit like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, it's a bit different. It just depends. Even in Lebanon, it's a bit different too, where you're from.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So really, like, I can put it all together, and then 4 weeks before when we can talk about putting it together.
Remember everything along those lines. So just think website, right?
Yeah.
So basically, if you're going to do a state of origin promotion, so I would just create a blog or something that you can do that says, we're going to have this event. It's going to be awesome. This is what it looks like. You could mock up a little thing, and so but just always think website first. So basically, when you're thinking of these sorts of things, go, okay, I'm going to think Najib, and a bit like what's happened here. You've gone from Najib to us, right?
That's right. So I just got to go in Najib, and you guys will get the content
we'll
from there.
work it after we'll work it out after that. So
perfect.
Yeah, so we can provide feedback, but yeah, realistically, if you think that first, then we'll win, and I'll give you the details for Go Promote. I think there is some other ones in Sydney that are probably more local that you could also speak to, but at least you can compare and contrast.
That's right. Yeah, it's good to know. Perfect. Yeah, send them through.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess all we need to do now then is lock in the 3 hour. Is it a 3 hour one first, or the?
Well, we normally do that in one go, but I'm happy to split it if it's easier.
No, we can do it one. We can do it one go. So is that so? With 3 plus 2, so it'll be 5 hours. I need a day.
5 hours. Take half an hour for lunch, or at least a break. Particularly given you were going to want some breaks, I'm thinking, or at least stand up.
Yeah, I'll probably need to go bathroom breaks. I'll be honest. I like this.
Don't worry. The amount of coffee I drink, I'll be able to compete with.
Yes.
So Tuesdays and Thursdays are normally best. So it's just a matter of deciding
Thursdays,
Tuesday or Thursday that would suit.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Let me just quickly check my calendar 1 second. I may as well just book it in now. Saves me.
Yeah, that'd be good because then over the weekend I can set it up as a project and send you the check.
Yeah. I don't want to waste. I don't want to come back to you Monday and then we're trying to work out a day. And
okay.
Obviously want to try and get this going. Let me see. So Tuesday next week. Can't do. Can I do the probably the 22nd?
Tuesday the 22nd? Yeah. That's actually better.
Because next week I've got a few things on, and on a Tuesday. So you can only do a Tuesday and Thursday. Is that right? You can't do any other day.
Well, we could do Friday at a stretch. If Friday's good for you, then we could do Friday.
Yeah, if Fridays are better for me, I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Only because then like my whole week I've planned everything, and I can just in between.
Friday 18th.
Let's have a look. So we do it next Friday.
Yeah.
All right. That should be fine. Lock it in. Let's lock in Friday the 18th.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Thursday. No. Thursday is always my favorite day, but only because it leads to Friday, so it'll just make Friday even more favorite.
There you go. See, Thursdays for me, I'm usually with my mum because we're doing a planning for my baby stuff.
Of
So
course.
I feel bad. It's the only day she takes a day off
Oh, yeah,
from
no, don't do
her
that.
business.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with that. I'm not actually busy working, but I keep my Thursday free for her every Thursday. Yeah.
Trisha well knows that I talk about perfect weeks all the time, and I keep a lot of things free for different reasons, and
Yeah, you have
that
to.
makes
You have to, 'cause
perfect
then I
sense
won't
to
see
me.
her.
And I would say keep mum happy, and that keeps us happy because realistically, Friday's there for us to do that, and that'll and because it's far enough in advance, at least that we know I'm not going to be. I'll just keep everything out the way. So, should we say? Do we want to do 9:30? Is that late
Yeah, that's
enough?
fine.
Early enough? 9:30? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine for me. Yes, whatever time you guys
Yes,
want.
at
Don't worry.
9:30. So to allow 9:30 to 3ish. So that'll probably be working. That'll work out fine.
Perfect. And then so once we do that day, you will then go off and we'll start.
Well, from
Is that
Monday,
right?
yeah, from the following Monday, we'd be posting,
Perfect.
and as I said, we'd be looking into really
How we're gonna
on the Monday
promote.
thing whether we can advertise that week.
Yeah.
We'll start advertising. We'll know pretty quickly whether what we can and can't do. We'll
Yep.
keep trying, but yeah, we'll try really hard to start with.
Okay. Perfect. That sounds good.
Yeah, no, it's really good. All right, well,
Okay.
that makes this
Perfect.
Friday fun too, and they are my funnest sessions. I do love the setup and planning sessions because it's
Yes.
really good to see. And Trisha knows this, right? So it's just really good to see businesses that are good businesses like yours that already look good. And I love that image. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to putting that image across everything, and
Perfect.
just making sure that it looks really presents you in the best possible light. It's going to be great.
And it sounds good. I look forward to it, and I'm really glad we got to meet each other. Thanks for the view.
Awesome.
And send me that contact you have as well. That way I can start. I've got my event hat on. Start looking at getting the.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Right.
I'll do that straight after this. So I'll actually just do it as a
Perfect.
reply to this calendar, and then I'll keep everything else separate. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. That sounds good.
Thanks again, guys. Have a nice weekend.
You too.
Take care of yourself. Be safe. See you
Cheers. Bye.
later.
Absolutely.
Take care. Bye bye.
She's so nice.
Yeah, she is. She's very good. And the other thing is, husband has an architect business, which is kind of good too, right? So that could work out nicely if this works well. Then they'll see the benefit, hopefully.